The second physical property that we're going to talk about is hardness. So hardness refers to the ability of a substance to scratch another substance. Okay, so when we're talking about hardness, we're talking about if it's going to scratch another substance, okay? And in the book, they talk about two examples. The first one is an iron nail in plastic ruler. So if I take an iron nail and I write on a ruler, it actually is going to scratch it. Agree? Why does this happen? It's because the iron nail is harder than the plastic rule. Therefore, it's going to be able to separate the particles in the plastic ruler. Okay, and that's why it will be able to scratch that object. But the same object, the iron nail, if I put it in glass, then it won't be able to scratch it. Why? For the same reason, because then the iron nail is not strong enough. So the forces that are keeping together the particles in glass are very strong, and the iron nail cannot separate those particles, okay? So if I do a drawing about this, okay, so if I have an atom, I'm going to draw it here, and another atom, we know that there are forces that are keeping these atoms together. We saw that last class. So try to remember what are the forces that are keeping this together. So electrostatic forces. So the forces that are trying to keep the particles together is what is keep them together. Agree? You can even write here electrostatic forces. Electrostatic forces are keeping them together, okay? And a substance is going to be described as a hard substance if it's very difficult to separate those particles, okay? That's going to be called a hard. And a soft substance is going to be if the particles can be removed or scrubbed off easily. So the particles can be removed or scrapped off easily, okay? So if I'm trying to say which one is the strongest, the very hard substance in this one, the first one will be glass. That's the harder. Then comes the iron nail. And finally the plastic ruler. So that's the softer. This one is the harder. And this one is the softer. Okay. I'm going to rub this out because for the next bit. So I need to wrap this out, all of it. So a substance is considered brittle when it's a hard substance, but it shatters easily. Okay, and remember that when we talk about being shattered easily, we were talking about our previous physical property, which was strength. And that brings us to the conclusion. There you go, so you can take your notes there. So that brings us to the conclusion that hardness is not the same as strength, okay? Remember that hardness is about that force of keeping those particles together. And if the particles are being able to be separated, to be scrapped, whereas strength is talking about if the object can be crushed or if the object can break if it's being stretched. Okay, girls? Good. We're going to go into the next video to the next physical properties.